Prawn here with some tips and tricks on Medieval Dynasty and how to go hunting and what to do to get the most out of hunting, preferably without running out of things and then getting bullied to death by various different vicious creatures. So gear is pretty important. Using a crossbow or a recursive bow, for example, can be really handy, but you need to make sure you've got multiples of these because they do still wear down pretty quickly. Now, one tip for this is that you can often find bandits lurking in the woods or nearby your location, so it's worth exploring. You may find abandoned houses, bandits hunting for people, or just bandit camps and buildings. In those, if you kill the bandits and loot them, you can often get good weapons, including bows, crossbows, and other things. And you may also find bits that you can sell so that you can then buy recursive bows or better bows than the standard one, and then use those. Make sure you're fully geared and loaded up. The other thing I'd say is grab loads of broadleaf plantains that you find scattered around. These give you +5 health every time you eat them, so they're really handy for recovering your health and can be really helpful when hunting. Now, there are some quests for hunting particular creatures, and I'd recommend picking these up because they do give you quite a bit of money and they're worth doing. Now, open up the map and you can scroll through the filters on the right hand side, and in those filters you'll find wild animals. So as you're walking around in the world, you might have noticed that it says spotted this animal when you're in a certain location, and it will say it over and over and over again every time you're exploring. It then puts an indicator on the map under this filter of where that creature was seen, so you can then go back to that spot and hunt that particular creature. Here I've got a hunt for wild boar. So basically just returning to that area by putting a marker down on the map, following it to that spot, and then hunting the boar, hopefully without getting killed because these guys are really aggressive. So I'd recommend using a decent weapon. I've bought a recursive bow here and some iron arrows and just using those. Now that is an expensive setup. I'm going to show you in a second a tip to get some money, so stick with me in a minute. Get some money pretty easily. And you'll see that from those boars we get leather, meat, and obviously arrows returned as well. Pay attention to the leather and the meat because we're going to get to how that'll be useful in a minute as well. Now, while hunting, you might find that you accidentally fire some arrows and miss your target. You can use the special vision to track where the arrows are. Now, this can also pay off because you might find that you've killed a creature and then you can't find where it is. If you use that special vision, you'll then see where a load of your arrows are, and then that's where the creature has died. Now, this is also useful if you're attacking a creature that then runs off, because what you'll see is that the creatures are bleeding as you shoot them, and sometimes they'll run away from you. Now, wolves won't necessarily do that, but other creatures might run away after you've hit your first shot or second shot, but they will spurt blood to leave a trail behind them, and also they'll have those arrows stuck in them. So you can use the special ability to not only find where the corpses are of the animals you killed, but also where they're going. So if you pay special attention to it, you'll see in a second when you shoot a deer, for example, sometimes they run off, and then you can use this special sense to then track where they've gone. Now, deer are really worth killing. It's worth killing as many deer as you can because they drop a lot of meat. They're easy to kill because they're not aggressive. So the only thing you've got to watch out for is them running off when they get shot. But otherwise, they're really easy because they don't come after you. So that's an important point of it. Now, the hunting abilities are really important as well. You'll get some good skills for hunting. You also get some good rewards for doing it. Beyond just doing the quests that you then have to hand in meat to certain quest givers, you also get the leather and the standard meat. The meat is important because you need to use it not only to feed yourself, but also to feed the villagers that you're going to have in your village. And so that's important. But also we can use that for crafting something in a second, which will give you some extra money. Again, your special abilities can be used to not only find your arrows, but spears you might have thrown and other things on the ground. And you can see that it lets you know, as I said earlier, when there's a creature nearby that you shot. So I shot this deer earlier, then I lost it, but I found it again now. And you can see that the copper arrows that are stuck in its bottom are then tracked across the world. So you can find it more easily that way, retrieve your arrows, and obviously get your kill as well. So lots of hunting going on there, and while you're doing the hunting, you're obviously getting some skills and experience points from doing this, and this will apply to whatever you're doing in the game, other things too, but you'll get skill points that you can then spend in the hunting tree. So if you put your first skill points into this hunting knowledge one, for example, you can then upgrade that so you get then more experience from hunting every time you do it, and you can apply that logic to each of the different trees. Now, from the various different animals that we've killed, we've got leather. Now, leather is worth 8 coins as standard, so 1 leather will give you 8 coins when you sell it to a merchant. But if you go into your crafting, you can see that you can craft a simple bag from 1 leather. So 1 piece of leather will give you 1 simple bag. A simple bag is worth 12 coins. So you can see that if you hunt a lot of creatures and you get a lot of leather, you can turn that into a lot of simple bags. And then the simple bags, in turn, are worth a lot more money. So you can then basically use that mechanic to not only have food on you, but also to be able to craft loads of bags that are potentially worth more. Now, another way to do this, obviously, is with meat. The same logic applies here. Raw meat that you'll get from hunting is worth 4 coins. So 1 bit of meat is worth 4 coins. But if you go to the kitchen in your village or to the fireplace in your own hut, you can then just cook the meat really easily. Just standard meat, just cooked, roasted, is now worth 7 coins instead of 4. So then obviously we've got 261 bits of meat here that I need to cook. This is going to take some time, so I'd recommend just go get yourself a drink while you wait for it to happen. But then doing that, you can then obviously sell not only the roasted meat, but also the simple bags that you've crafted. So go to a local village and find someone that will buy things. And you'll see at the moment I've got 1,305 coins, which isn't a great deal of coins because if you need to buy clothes for the winter, for example, you'll find they're very expensive. So it's worth doing this in the summertime to get your money up as much as possible. And we can sell all that roasted meat that we've cooked for 906 coins. So that's worth doing. And then obviously we've got to find the simple bags and other things. You'll notice that we've also got fur from some of the creatures that you can potentially sell for 2 coins each. That's worth 182 there if you want to use that. But we could also use that for other crafting things. And then the simple bags are worth 342 coins. So now I've got 2,569 coins, which is a decent haul from that little bit of hunting. Hopefully you found these tips and tricks handy. If you did, subscribe for more. And stick around to see more useful content on Medieval Dynasty. Thanks for watching.